Wednesday night. I know I'm having fun, and I'm
Oh,
very
man.
much enjoying casting with my buddy Moonglade. It's been a while.
It's been far too long, Zepph, and yeah, this is just a blast for me, man. I've forgotten how much I love casting. It's just so much fun. So I'm excited that I'm back in it, man. Get used to it.
That's good. Gotta get you back on that WCS lineup and everything as well.
Ooh.
I feel like we're getting more and more casters in this region, man. I'm gonna lose my job soon.
Yeah. Nonsense. You're one of the you're the grandmother of this place. You've been here since the start. I mean that with respect. I mean that with respect, but you've been around the whole time. You're not going anywhere, Zepph.
Oh. I don't know, man. All these young retiring pro gamers.
Hey, I know all about that.
Up.
I know about dealing with the youngins. They're all tough. They've got the new strategies and the quick hands.
Jesus.
It's not good.
Let's hope my hip replacement doesn't slow me down against these guys. Oh my goodness. All right.
Hopefully we do have the players. It looks like we might have to wait for them just a little bit here.
Maybe just a little bit. And you know what? Ooh, actually, okay. Is Asuraa in the chat? He is. But it looks like, these guys are just taking their time. To be fair, the last game was over kind of quickly. So let's see if we can grab...
that was a quick game.
Yeah, we'll see if we can grab our buddy Peppy in here in just a second. Asura's ready to go. I think he might have just had the lobby bug, so
okay.
We can pop in just a second for Catalyst.
Catalyst.
Yeah. So hopefully people like the map picks as well. Every week the teams get a new lineup of maps, so they're preset. They don't get a say, but they have to choose which players they field on which map. And last season, I think that turned out really fun because Death and I would sit down and try and help choose the map lineup and be like, what would give the most exciting game? So you'd maybe end up with like a very wonky game here and there because it's one of the weirder maps that you would kind of veto on ladder and in any other tournament, but in the team league you're forced to play it. So.
You're forced to play it, and it's like, it can create these really funky games because people are doing specific sort of strategies for that player on that map. So it gets super mind gamey, especially in this sort of area because it's such a small community that people know each other already. So it gets super meta-y, super weird, and that's what I love about this kind of match.
Yeah, countdown started, guys. In fact, it's finished, and we're loading into Catalyst for Asuraa vs Peppy. I am hype. I don't know much about Asuraa. I don't know about you, Moonglade. Peppy, less of an unknown quantity, but I'm keen to learn a bit more about these guys here on Catalyst.
Show me the way, Peppy.
Alrighty, in the top left, spawning in the orange trunks, this guy is playing for Rise. His name is Asuraa.
Alright. Down here, in the bottom right, in the green, we do have Legacy Peppy. So far, no early pool. I don't know how I feel about this.
No.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
We're all good.
Gosh dang it. ZVZ. One time, please.
Just one time. Let's take it late game. But no gas just yet. Just a nice early pool. Could be for safety. You know, safety first. You don't want to get cheesed out in this kind of best of one.
Yeah.
Maybe getting that expansion just a little bit later.
Definitely the Zepph special, the I am bad at ZVZ build on ladder.
I don't want to die to early Lings build. I understand that. I respect that.
Yeah. So this is going to be a little bit chill here in the beginning. You can actually crank out a few Lings and send them across the map if you really want and just try and catch them unawares. But I think it's maybe a little bit more worth it to drone it up for the time being. And I'm keen to see how this guy plays and what he brings to the table. Is he an aggressive Zerg? Is he a macro Zerg? Is he a dude with insane crease threat? I don't really know. This is one of our Vietnamese players here for Rise. And Asura's not a guy that I'm very familiar with. Like, the name's familiar to me, so I feel like I might have casted him before, but he definitely wasn't in the team league last season.
No, I see what you're saying, and I totally agree. That name is very familiar, but I just can't put my finger on it. I definitely know a lot more about Peppy, and I'm definitely giving Peppy the advantage in the early game so far. You know, he did go for that greedy fast expansion gas first in the pool, so he's going to get nice and quick speed and that economic advantage very slightly, but it still kind of adds up.
Yeah. Let's see how we go here as the Lings start to venture out into unknown territory. And both of them probably going to keep tabs on that third base, see if one of them's brave enough to dive straight into that more macro-focused game, or if they do the old take a third base and mass Ling kind of strategy. It looks like Peppy's poised to go out there, but he's busy using his other Lings over here.
He somehow snuck all of the Lings in. He's going to be creating a lot of chaos with these drones. One is going to go down for sure. He's going to get out with only trading for one Ling for one drone. Not a bad trade at all. Ooh, do see a lot of Lings coming out for Asuraa though, and a +1 attack. That's interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm still used to the idea of getting the +1 carapace more than the +1 attack, especially because Peppy's going for that Baneling nest. So you kind of think that they'd flood with that, but man, do you win fights when you've got that +1 melee. Yeah,
you definitely win fights if you get to, but looks like he might be losing this. Oh my goodness, he didn't kill it. 2 HP. Wow, that is very lucky by Asuraa to get that happening. And let's see if he can capitalize on it. A lot of Lings running across the map now. Probably looking for a nice little spot to Bane up, perhaps after cancelling this third base.
Yeah, he's going to have a snack of that in just a
Cancel
sec.
that. Yeah, it looks like he actually got his Bane nest quite late.
Yeah, banking that gas on that melee upgrade. He's got to be careful!
Oh no.
Oh, Asuraa, I'm so
well,
sorry.
there goes that attack.
That's rough. Well, not the greatest trade, but, you know, he denied the third base, so that's something because he is very much committing to the aggression at the moment. And he hasn't taken his own third base. He has gone back to squeezing out a few more drones, though, so perhaps he'll think about it in a moment.
Oh, this is a crucial Zergling. He sees everything. He sees everything he needs to see. He sees the drone count on that natural. And he's like, oh, you're actually just completely all in at this point.
Yeah, and now that he's seen it too, that, like, doubly forces Asuraa to go, welp, I'm definitely committed now. He knows what I'm doing. I can't wait any longer for him to defend. He's already got a pretty decent Bane count there, looking very healthy. I think he'll probably be able to eventually get the cancel on this hatchery. Oh my god.
Oh, he's got his own Banes now. Queens are coming to help out against that though. I think he will probably have to cancel this base. I don't see it getting up very safely. Oh, doesn't cancel it, never mind. A little bit of a mistake there from Peppy, and now the Lings actually run past with the Banelings to survive. This could be a big hit on the economy if the Banes get in.
Yes, indeed. Oh, some of the Lings getting cleaned up there, but Asuraa hasn't really been able to break through and survive with much of this force. He could potentially pick off a couple of Lings here. The Queens are not in position to block these from coming in, and they're very slow, and in fact, he's getting a decent amount of drones here. Asuraa finally finding some of the damage that he was seeking this whole time.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage, and they were +1 Lings, so they were killing them nice and quick. So he's actually running home. He might be actually using the same control group, so the Lings that were in the main base ended up running all the way across the map back home, which may have been a mistake and an oversight on his part. Granted, he does have to kind of defend against his counterattack, though. +1 doing some good work.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looks even, and then you realize your opponent's got +1, and you're like, oh, gosh darn it. Because he suddenly gets around, and you're like, hey, wait, why aren't my Lings quite as good as this guy's?
Everything's just melting. That's
it. And Asura's going straight into the carapace after this as well. Now, 1-1 Lings are pretty good, but once Peppy gets that roach count up, if he can get that roach count up, he'll start trading less and less efficiently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he might actually be able to sneak out a cancel on this third base. Not paying attention, though. He might end up just losing all the Lings instead. Just not enough. And that roach shout's going to help out a great deal as well. And Asuraa sees it, so he knows the intentions of Peppy is to go into that roach style. How he reacts is another question. You just see more and more Lings coming from Asuraa. And this might be the opportunity one of the few opportunities he has before the Roach Ball gets too big to actually do some damage.
Yeah, for sure. And he manages to get into the main again. Only gets one drone. Might even be able to get a Roach, morphing a Ravager there to try and save it. And Asuraa is doing a great job at using his mobility and the upgrade advantage to take favorable trades, pick up a drone here and there, which he certainly needs to do because he's still down on workers at this point. Peppy's just had a good defense so far, and he's managed to trade a little bit more efficiently against his opponent.
Yeah, and here we go again. He's kind of splitting up the Ling, so a lot of them are just splashing against the Roaches and Ravager. And looks like it's successfully defended. I do not see Asuraa doing any more damage to that base.
Yeah, man, he got so close there too. I was kind of wondering, is it going to go down? But it looks like he may still be able to do it if he sort of backstabs in there while Peppy's out of position, because it doesn't take too long for a +1 Ling to chew through that last bit of health. But I think Peppy's probably going to babysit that for a little bit with that in mind. And that Roach Force is starting to get a little juicy.
Oh yeah, it's got the +1, +2 well on the way, past halfway, and that's going to make it even easier to kill those Lings, especially because they are relying on that +1 carapace right now to keep them alive. More than 2 shots. Another little run by into the main. There's not much here but the Queen, but should be able to buy time being in that little nook. And what does Asuraa do from here is the question, because he is down 30 supply, kind of in a bad place tech-wise and upgrade-wise.
Yeah. I think maybe he just needs to commit to a solid round of drones or two, because Peppy also knows how far behind he is. He's been able to get a bit of a look at what the droning is like for his opponent, and he's just massing Roaches and starting to squeeze in a couple of drones of his own here and there to maintain that lead. So I think maybe Asuraa has to rely on not letting Peppy attack and always going for that backstab. But that said, it looks like he's actually going to take a different option and go for some tech.
All right, I can respect the Mutalisk switch, and I can, I mean, if he can get to it safely, but I feel like we're going to see Peppy make a move well before then.
Yeah, I mean, as you say that, he decides to push out. So Asura's gonna have a bit of a rough time. He's got to pump out some Lings, maybe start massing some Spines yesterday. I don't know if he can hold off this Roach Force. Yeah, I'm not so sure about it. He's got quite a number of Lings. He's actually going to try and fight this Roach Ball, but there's simply too many Roaches, too many upgrades, and GG is called. GG. Peppy taking it to the 2-1 for Legacy. And that means we'll be sneaking off into another ZVP for the 4th match. And that's going to be a tricky one. Ooh, yeah. Now it gets interesting. Miyamika against Probe. Oh boy. Probe's a beast. And I'm sure he's still a beast. I'm pretty sure he's been traveling not too long ago as well, if my Twitter is correct. So it's going to be on Eastwatch as well. This is going to be such an uphill battle for Miyamika, but I'm sure he can do it. He has experience against Probe. And Miyamika is, he has been in some big tournaments in this oceanic region before. I believe WCS was one of them not too long ago as well. Yeah, Miyamika is in my mind, most lovable Zerg. And I mean, I don't say that lightly because we have a lot of lovable Zergs in our region. There's a lot of sweetie pies out there. But this guy is all smiles all the time. He's literally a ray of sunshine. He's having so much fun when he's here for WCS. Another Vietnamese player, actually, and he is killing it. He is doing really, really well. And he has a very strange play style. He doesn't play the meta. He does Miyamika builds. That's the only way you can explain them. And they work. It's just weird. And they kill these opponents. And that's the great thing about having these, the C players kind of come together for this, is you get these crazy styles and these crazy players that don't follow the pro games. They make up their own sort of styles and strategies and have their own ways of thinking. So I'm definitely excited for this, and it's definitely a dangerous match because it's a best of one. So, anything can happen. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's worth mentioning as well that, while Probe at this point needs no introduction, he's not invincible. And yes, he's been traveling. I actually don't know what his practice is like at the moment because it looks like he's living it up in that pro gamer life. So, you never know how much someone's actually sitting down and getting that quality practice, while they're out competing and going on adventures and making the most of their time overseas, as you should do.
As you should.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see how he'll play against his opponent. He faced Miyamika in the last season as well. And I'll have you know that Miyamika actually won that map.
Oh, what? Okay. Well, that changes everything.
Yeah.
My information was from like a year or two ago when he was playing in the last WCS I casted. So it's been a while since then. But even back then, he was looking great. So I'm not surprised that he's managed to one-up Probe.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And Miyamika, I think last year had a really solid 2017. I think he got top 6 at least a couple of times. I'm not sure if he went any further. Someone will correct me. I'm sure if I am not doing him justice here, but he is a top 8 Zerg in my mind and quite consistent in that regard. So he's definitely no slouch. He is a guy that you have to be careful of because he throws you these crazy curveballs. And I think he's